All right, so let's continue this tutorial about Gutenberg. Let's say, for example, you want to add more than just an image and a bunch of stuff. First things first, let me go ahead and delete this list that I have. And so I can click the plus button, and over here I can click Browse All. Now here, you'll notice that we have a lot of options. So we have heading, you have quotes, classic block. Now the classic block is the classic editor, and so you can insert it. And by doing this, you will have an editor inside of an editor. So the main editor here is Gutenberg, but the editor that we have added is the classic block, right? Now you can either drag and drop the classic block, or you can simply just click on it and it will be added as well. Now the classic block was the previous editor that was installed by default whenever someone installed WordPress on their website. Now in 2018, if I'm correct, Gutenberg came to life. And so Gutenberg became the editor by default of WordPress. And so there was a lot of outrage of, hey, we want the classic editor back. I mean, we don't really like Gutenberg. We want the classic editor back. And so Gutenberg has created a classic editor block so that you can edit your website using the classic editor inside of Gutenberg. Now over here, let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's say I can say here, this is a paragraph. And so if I click, this is a paragraph. Now this is a text. Let's say I want to change this. Instead of a paragraph, I want to make it a heading. So I can click here and I can make it heading number 2. All right. I can even take a paragraph or take a text and I can link it to something. I can link it to a website. And I can click over here and I can see more options, which means that I can open this link in a new tab. I can even change the link text. And so basically what you can do inside of Gutenberg, you can do inside of the classic editor. Apart, of course, from the fact that Gutenberg is really much better, in my opinion. Some people wouldn't agree with me on that, but I think Gutenberg is better. Now over here, you can manipulate the color. Let's say you want to make paragraph red. Let's say you want to make paragraph bold. You want to make it italic, and you can do all of this stuff right here. Now you can take this entire thing and center it. You can put it on the right. You can put it on the left. Now you can add a horizontal line, right? So I'm just gonna go back here. Now you can click this go back button to go back to the last, and you can do it from here as well. You can click undo and you can click redo, right? Redo to get back to where you were. Now over here you can add media. If you click add media, you can add images, and you can add an alt texture image over here. Let's say I want to say that this is an elephant, right? Elephant. And I can add that, and I can take this image, I can make it bigger, just like this. Kind of similar to Gutenberg. And yeah, and you can actually center your image. And you can even click edit here so that you can go to the alt text and edit it. You can change the size of this image. You can modify the size. Let's say I want to give it 500 over here. And automatically when you modify the width, the height gets modified according to the proportion, right? To the dimension proportion. Now over here, I think we're done with this editor. So I'm just going to go ahead and click. And I'm going to remove classic editor. Let me go ahead to this one as well and remove it since I've added 2. And let me go and show you more stuff that you can add. So if I click the plus button over here, you can see that you can add a piece of code. Let's say that you're a code website, or that you want to share a code that does something with people. Now you can click here on code. This will be inserted, and you can paste the code in here so that when people come, they can see your code, and most importantly, they can actually copy it. Now, if you want a demonstration, let me go ahead and show to you how some of this works. So I'm here on ChatGPT version number 4. I'm going to go ahead and ask ChatGPT, please write a random HTML code. And so it's going to go ahead and write an HTML code for me. I'm just going to copy that code, and I'm just going to paste it. And so by doing that, by adding the code block, people are now going to be able to copy your code block easily, effortlessly. Let me go ahead and just wait for this. I mean, it's generating a code basically, but I feel like it's generating a huge code. So I'm just going to click on stop. Come on. I asked it to generate a random code and it started generating a big code here. So let me go back to the Gutenberg editor and I can place my code here. Now this is how the code looks like over here. but you can actually click on update. Let me click the wheel to activate the settings. And so right now the post is updated. If I click on the preview button over here, and if I click on preview in a new tab, notice what's going to happen is that we have a code over here, and people can basically copy it. Now let me go back here to the editor. Now, usually these codes, normally they're, in terms of the text, usually the text is white and the background is kind of black, right? So usually this is mostly how it works. And so people can come and they can copy your code. So this is a very, very interesting way to share codes with people, especially if you're a coding website. Now over here, if I scroll down, we have so many other options. I'm not going to go into all of them, but let me go through the video, right? The video block. But first of all here, let us go and delete this particular block, this code block. I'm going to click on the plus icon. Right, so I can scroll down over here. Let us go ahead and add the video block right now. So if I go and search for it, I can search for it or find it from here. Now I'll just click on it and this will embed it automatically here. Now you can upload a video from your own library, from the computer, or you can insert a URL. So if I click insert from URL, you can paste your URL over here. And if you have a YouTube video, for instance here, let me go to my channel. Let me go, for example, here and add a video. So I can go over here and simply paste my URL, right? So if I paste the URL, this will actually add the video, right? And I can add a caption to the video, but you can see here that this is the YouTube video. Now here, you can embed more than just a YouTube video. Let's say, for example, you want to embed a Twitter tweet. And since, of course, we're going to be in the business of creating blog posts about news, then it's only logical to learn how to embed a Twitter tweet. Now, to get a Twitter tweet, let me go and get the tweet or a tweet of Elon Musk, since he's actually using Twitter a lot. So I'm going to go over here and look for Elon Musk tweet, but you can actually add a tweet of anyone you want. Now, you'll find that some websites are making money just by adding reviews of what Elon Musk is saying. Websites are built entirely to talk about his tweets, and so that's pretty interesting. You can see how weird the world we live in is. But anyways, here, let me scroll to one of his tweets. I'll show you how to get the link of that tweet. You'll have to access it first. So if I click on Elon Musk here on Twitter, right? So this is actually one of his tweets, right? So if I click it, this will open it up in a new tab. Right now I can take that link, right? So I'm going to take the link of the tweet. I'm going to go back to Gutenberg here, and I'm just going to place my tweet. And so if I place the tweet and click on embed, wait a second for the magic to happen, and the tweet is going to be added. Okay, so just wait. And you can see right now the tweet of Elon Musk. You can see even how many people have read it, how many people have loved, have replied, and that's pretty interesting, right? So this will actually make your blog post even better. Now, without further ado, before we close, let me go ahead and show you an interesting thing that you can do with Gutenberg, such as adding code to create tools. So the tool that we're going to be creating is a BMI, Body Mass Index Calculator. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'll ask it, please write a HTML code for a BMI, and it's going to go ahead and write it for me. So I'll just wait for it, and I'll show you how to insert this on your website. Okay, and I can just take the code right here. I can copy the code. I can come back to Gutenberg, and pretty easily I can just click the plus button over here. Let me look for, click Browse All first of all here, and let me look for HTML. So since this is an HTML code, I can click Custom HTML. I can paste my code, and right here that I have the code, I can click on Preview, and you can see right now that this is how the BMI kind of looks like. And so if I click on Update, and if I go to Preview, people are now going to be able to get or calculate their BMI based on their weight in kilograms. So if I click the Preview over here, Preview in a new tab, you can see right now that if I enter a value, it will calculate my BMI for me. So this is all for Gutenberg. Let me go ahead and show you now how you can or understand better the WordPress dashboard, because a lot of people get lost when it comes to the dashboard. So I feel like a tutorial about that is necessary. So let's go and let me explain to you how to use the dashboard and navigate it perfectly.